Good morning. Oh, it's opposite there. Okay. Let me get some invites set out here and we will get right into our practice. So let's see, the very first one, and it's this one right here. Share. Uh-huh. Uh. No, 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 I don't want that one. I want to copy. Mm, 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 mm. Mhm. Mhm, mm, mm. Mhm. Okay. All righty. Mhm. Good morning. So, I don't know if I've set this up right. I think I might have disabled comments. So, good morning, Nikki. Thank you so much, friend, for being here. Obviously, I need to continue to work some things out. So let's dive right into it. So I'm curious if you can hear the tinkshas. Yeah, just landing. So I want to go ahead and just get on my bolster here. I encourage you to find a tall seat. And I like to sit on a bolster or yoga block. So, having something where your hips are higher than your knees can be really helpful. And you don't have to be barefoot. It's cold this morning, so I'm keeping my socks on. And and so I encourage you to have clothes on that are comfortable, that you feel like you can move in, and that feel good for you. So as long as you can move around, should be really what your practice is really what's comfortable for you. So traditionally, we would be in sort of yoga clothes with the bare feet and the mat. I have some yoga clothes on just for so you can see my body a little bit better and can orient to alignment. So I'm just practicing on a blanket here. So you don't have to have a yoga mat. Anyway, so find a space within your area and find a tall seat as we just sort of start to settle in here together. I want you to pretend like there's a string that's lifting up from the tailbone through the crown of the head. So you may need to have a little bit of a double chin. I know oftentimes we don't like that, especially as women. So go ahead and find that alignment though, so that your ears are over shoulders and your shoulders are over hips. Yeah, and let's take 3 breaths together with audible sighs. So to take a deep breath, we're first gonna empty out. So let your belly use your belly muscles to actually pull your belly to spine, letting out all that stale used air. I'm still exhaling here and only when I feel the need to inhale. Push belly out. Push chest out. Audible sigh. Let that exhale complete. Pull your belly to spine. And only when you're ready to inhale, push your belly out. Let your chest push out. Audible sigh. Shaking, wiggling. One more, following that exhale, all the way out, all the way out, all the way out, and inhale. Good. Let your attention stay inward. Notice where the parts of your body make contact with the surfaces that are supporting you. Let your breath just be natural. Notice the amount of presence just with those 3 breaths. And really, right here at the beginning, wanting to normalize that the mind will wander. We have parts of us that will come in to be critical, evaluative, judgmental, supportive, angry, resistant. It's okay. All those parts are welcome. Your invitation here through this practice, as through all of these practices, will be to notice that you've drifted. And then just without judgment, to bring your awareness back to the present moment, following the sound of my voice like a anchor rope, noticing sensations in your body, and just even notice right here in this moment. Can you feel your breath? Where can you feel your breath? Is there an area that's tight or tense? Let that be your somatic anchor to bring your attention back into your body without judging, with loving kindness when your mind has drifted. Yeah, a few more moments here of just arriving, and then we'll go ahead and start to move into some shapes. Yeah, good. And I really want to introduce here an ujjayi breath. So you're welcome to start to flutter your eyes open here. Yeah, hi, namaste. Little different quality, hopefully, to you being right here. So an ujjayi breath is colloquially known as an ocean breath because it takes on the quality of the tide rolling in and the tide rolling out. So what I want you to do is take a breath. It can be a big breath or just a regular breath. And on the exhale, open your mouth like you're fogging up a window or a mirror. Let's do that a few more times. Good. Keep doing it until you can really feel that quality of that little bit of constriction in the back of the throat. And then when you're comfortable with that, close your mouth on the exhale and see if you can create that same sensation on the exhale. Good. So even if you didn't get it this time, totally okay. We'll continue to cultivate these breaths as we move through our practice. So go ahead and I invite you to just let your body come to a cat cow. We're just going to do just a little bit of warm up with the spine here. So let your knees be right under your hips. Let your shoulders, arms, let all that be supportive here as we're just going to move into some gentle movement here of the spine. So inhaling, arching up. Exhaling, round your back, pulling belly to spine. Going with your breath. Inhale and exhale. Try those ujjayi exhales even here. Let your body find some lateral movement of your hips, wagging tail, looking over shoulder. Yeah, good. And so now let's go ahead and come to our backs here. So I'm going to try this out with my head towards you and see if you can still see me. Looks like, yeah. So go ahead and come to your back now and maybe just start to roll out ankles and wrists, just sort of saying hello to the body here. In yin, we hold these shapes for 3 to 5 minutes. So it's okay to totally come into your practice without having stretched at all. Totally okay. And if you're feeling the need for a little bit of movement, go ahead and do that. This is trauma-informed yoga. So what that means is that even though I am mindful to use invitational language, you always have a choice in your shape and what you're doing. I'm just a guide. So just really tune into what you need. So let your arms come up over your head and maybe inhale, point toes, stretch arms. And exhale, everything just soften. Yeah, good. Do that again if you want. And then our first shape is going to bring us into banana asana. So go ahead and walk your feet over to the right. And I like to hook my big toes together. So I like for my leg to stay laterally rotated or laterally oriented. So what that means is it's not turning in, it's not turning out. It's just straight up and over so that you can really even start to feel this TFL, this IT band, this whole fascial line in the side body right here in the hip. Now, your sacrum and your hip points are going to stay down, as are your shoulder blades. So go ahead and then now what I like to do is take my head and push into the earth as I walk my upper body over to the right. So go ahead and do that. So we're coming into a banana shape. Take your right hand and grab your left wrist if you want. Remember, all these things are options. So just notice how coming into this first shape, see what's happening here. So we're going to be here for several breaths. So just go ahead and come into the shape with awareness where you feel the most sensation. And then the invitation is to breathe into that pocket. I had this beautiful yoga teacher in Colorado, Jenna, and she would say, breathe into the biggest pocket of sensation. And I really love that because it's not labeling It doesn't have any judgment. It's not pain, it's not tightness, it's not ease. It's just is the biggest pocket of sensation. So find that and let your breath, your prana, let that come to that area. Letting belly expand and shapes like this can be a little challenging. So come right to the edge of your discomfort, lovingly, without judgment, letting the inhales and exhales be complete, and knowing that you have choice to always return to your regular breath. Let your face soften. See if you can soften what doesn't have to work right now. And just know that as you deepen into a shape, you may want to take it a little deeper. Totally up to you. So only if you feel like your body is ready, just you can walk your upper body over a little bit more. Just it may not even be visible. You may lengthen out through that left armpit, really extending through ribs. Oftentimes, to bring yourself deeper into a shape, you don't need to move your physical body. You just need to move your breath, your prana, and noticing how your breath can really get into those nooks and crannies. Feeling that side body open. Most of yoga is done with our lips closed, our breath in and out of the nose, but just know that an audible sigh is always welcome. Nervous system helping to shift, to rest, digest. Yeah, good. Really just softening. In the intro, I said noticing the monkey mind, the chitta vritti. So the mind is will hold on to things, distractions, squirrel, right? We have this tendency to label it, oh, ADHD. Well, that may be, or it could just be the nature of the mind. So yoga is really about coming back to yourself and your wholeness. Yoga means union, to yoke, to unite. And we're uniting so many things. So yoga can be your body and breath. Traditionally, it's your individual consciousness with divine, higher self, source, energy consciousness. So when we're in our parts, we're in our narratives, that's not yoga. And that's why yoga is a practice. So when we're in that self energy, IFS, right? Internal Family Systems calls it self energy. This place of curiosity, compassion, calmness, connectedness, creativity, courageousness. So if this is your first yoga practice, just notice how much courage it took to get here. And maybe let a part of you be grateful for that, or encouraging of you on your path to have this much courage to show up for yourself. Yeah. Couple more breaths here. Yeah, good. And then if you have hold of your left wrist, go ahead and let that go. Start to glide your left leg over, start to just realign. And I really love to enjoy some movement in between these static poses. So if it feels good for you, go ahead and bend your knees and just do a little windshield wipers, little reverse windshield wipers. But you can move your hips in any way. Maybe you want to bring your knees to chest, Apanasana, but just feel what feels right here, just a little bit of movement. And then go ahead and find center again, arms overhead. And before we go to the other side, yogis, I want to invite you to just notice without judgment, but notice the difference in one side and the other. Yeah. And so just as before, now we're going to slide the left leg over, let the right leg come over to meet it, hook your big toes together. So it'll kind of make your feet flex in a little. And I don't think I said that on the other side, so forgive me. So have your feet flexed will make the toes easier to hook in. Make sure your pelvis is all the way on the ground, hip points on the ground. If you start to notice hip coming up, then let your legs come out back to midline a little. So we're all oriented with sacrum completely on the earth, right? Yeah, good. And then same thing, arms overhead, choice to kind of push into your head to lift your upper body over to the left, option to let your left hand grab your right wrist. And again, if your shoulder blade is coming up off of the ground, then just back off a little. We want hip points and shoulder blade points on the earth, connected with the earth. And so just know that as we come into these shapes, you may not be in the full expression of that. So let your body warm up, bring your breath to the shape. A great yoga teacher, Tara Judell, says these shapes are nothing without our embodied awareness in them. So let yourself be right here in your body. Where's that biggest pocket of sensation? And just bring your breath, your awareness there without judgment. Want to normalize right here that one side may be different than the other. Totally okay. Maybe even which side might have been a little, had a little bit more sensation. And you may want to start with that side next time. So again, I'm just your guide. You are your yoga teacher. You're your yogi. So I'm just making suggestions. Bring your breath to your side body. Notice what it feels like to expand through the ribs on this side. Ha, Ujjayi breath. Anytime you need it, full belly breath. Anytime, letting things soften that don't have to work. It's really just listening to how your body needs to be in this shape. Cultivating that compassionate presence. Really meeting your body where it is and letting your mind have the story. And when you notice that you've drifted away from the present moment, just gently bring it back. Sensations in your body, maybe sounds in the room, the sound of my voice, like a rope anchoring you to the present moment. Softening what doesn't have to work. Just slowing down. Yeah, good. Returning again and again. That's the practice. Noticing when you've drifted and coming right back, using this body, biggest pocket of sensation, as your guide, and coming out of this when you are ready. My foot sort of popped off my other foot, so I'm taking that as a sign that my body's ready to move out of that. So just know that I'm not timing these. I'm just sort of listening to what feels right. So in yin, we hold these shapes for, 3 to 5 minutes, even 10 minutes. So windshield wipers here, where both knees come to the same side, letting your hip come up for these. Yeah. Or just reverse windshield wiper, where just one knee comes in, internally rotating that hip. Yeah, good. So I want you to go ahead and keep your knees bent. And if they're not, go ahead and do that now. Bring your feet to the wide edge of what would be your mat and let your knees come together, knock knee. This is called constructive rest pose or posture. And so just notice if this is relaxing for you. Notice if you need to bring your feet out or bring them in a little bit. This should be really a position of ease. No effort here in holding up your knees or your legs. So just notice here, and the invitation, right, to bring your hands to your torso. So maybe your left hand is sort of on your left breast or chest. I like to let my elbow just relax onto the earth. And maybe your right hand is sort of just flopping down into the lower belly area. So just a little bit of contact. If it feels better for you to really exaggerate and have your hands really on your torso, that's fine too. Or maybe even like a hug feels good here. I don't know. Just see what contact feels right for you. So for me, it's just this gentle sort of contact. And we're just diving into our breath here. So just noticing your breath and notice how your spine is tall. You have a tall spine here without any effort at all. So oftentimes this is where I encourage my yogis or clients to start with their breath, is just to be in this shape and then just start to notice your breath. Notice at your chest or belly or nostrils. And as you feel ready, start to bring your breath into your belly. So the inhale, you'll extend through your belly. Let your belly muscles really push that belly out. And the exhale, you can just let it relax down. And again, you can pull your belly to spine at the bottom of that exhale, really letting out what no longer serves. And then belly expands on the inhale. So doing a couple of these really deep belly breaths, diaphragmatic breaths, really continuing to let our nervous system know that we're safe, that we are just doing yoga, just connecting with ourselves, our higher self, source energy, just slowing down here. And the next invitation here is to bring our breath into our torso and even above our collarbone. So it's called a yogic three-part breath or Dirga Swasam. And so you start by exhaling, pull the belly to spine, and then inhale, same thing, push your belly out, and then bring that inhale into your chest and back. And then empty out, this time with your mouth closed. Let your chest empty first. And then belly empties, pulling belly to spine. Good. So either taking your next big breath or just breathing normally. These big Durga breaths are hard work, so we want to validate if you found that one breath challenging. It might have been, and that's totally normal. So remember, when you start to engage this breath, exhale first, release what no longer serves you. A great metaphor for your physical postures as well as your mental, emotional patterns. In yoga, they're called samskaras, these ruts and patterns that our mind and our body gets into. So releasing what no longer serves to fill up with prana, with life force energy, and letting the exhale be slow and controlled, emptying out from the chest first and then the belly. Good. Maybe one more breath. Feel if that's right for you. And then just notice. Notice the quality of your mind, body, any impulses here, all without judgment, just noticing. Yeah, good. So knees to chest here, Apanasana. Go ahead and let your knees just come in and feels so good to just let your hips roll from side to side. And you can either take this really big over all the way onto like your waistband, right? Really rolling it out. You can stay little with just your sacrum or somewhere in between. You can roll your knees, making little circles with them. Slowing down where you feel a spot of sensation, right? Giving a little extra love there. Yeah, good. Wonderful. Apanasana. So now we're going to go ahead and let your knees come down. Now, I love scarves, and oftentimes I wear them for function. So if you have a scarf or a belt or anything, a towel nearby, or maybe if you have socks, you can hold on to those. So the choice here is going to just elevate through this right leg. Let's just go ahead and do some ankle circles first. One side and then the other, maybe pointing and flexing. Yeah, letting lateral rotation, supination, pronation, spreading toes wide. Yeah. So go ahead after you've kind of warmed up the back body there, let your strap come right to the ball of your foot. So not in the arch, but right towards the top of the front, the ball of the foot here. Yeah. And then make your strap such that you can hold on effortlessly. So I like to wrap my hands so that my shoulders can relax. And see, now your foot is flexed without hardly any effort at all. So choice here, yogis, to keep your left leg bent, or if you want to extend it out. If you extend it out, I'm encouraging you to keep that left leg engaged by flexing your foot, pushing through the heel of the foot. I don't feel like my body wants to do that right now. So I'm going to come back to my knee bent. And just start to notice where you feel this in your back body. Maybe feeling it in your calf, maybe behind the knee, maybe in the hamstring. Notice if you're tightening anywhere, if you're contracting any muscles. It's okay if you are, just notice that and then let it soften. There should be a little activation, maybe in your quads as you can let your legs straighten, but you don't have to. So just notice that, finding what feels right for you. And then on each exhale, the invitation is just to bring your leg a little bit closer. Now, you may not even notice it, okay? So it may just be a minuscule amount of movement. That's okay. So we're letting our body open up with our breath, using our exhales to go a little deeper, and only if your body is ready for that. So just feeling into the biggest pocket of sensation and breathing into that, softening what doesn't have to work. Notice your belly breath in this shape. Might be challenging to expand your belly with your legs sort of constricting the right side. Just notice that. Invitation here, yogis, to just lift your upper body just for one breath. So inhale, lift shoulder blades up off of the ground, and exhale, lower them back. Notice if that helped to take you a little deeper. Let's do that again. Inhaling, lift up. Exhale, lower. Good. One of my yogi friends, a great yogi named Allie, she did a book club recently that I was a part of it. I'm reading the book Move Your DNA, and in that book, the author talks about all these different planes of movement. So right here at the end of this stretch, you may want to let your strap move your foot into pronation and supination, just laterally moving it here, noticing what that's like, maybe even pointing and flexing a little bit here. So just feeling in to that. And then go ahead and do these little hip circles. Let your strap and your arms do all the work here for you. So circling in one direction several times and then circling in the other direction. This can feel so nourishing. Just to let some movement happen in the hip sockets. Yeah, good. And then we're going to go ahead and do this, all three versions here of Padagudasana, the hand to toe. So this is A, and then B is letting your leg come out to open your hips. Now, you want to make sure that your hip points stay down here. So if you start to notice this happening, go ahead and back off a little. So hip points are down, maybe lower belly is even a little engaged. And use your strap to bring your foot in. If you don't need it, that's totally fine. You can grab hold of your toe. Let this left hip be anchored down. So in relaxing, I just noticed my quads were still engaged on my right side. Totally okay. Just note what's engaged and notice if you can relax. Just a few breaths here. Good. And then bringing your foot back to center, grab hold of your strap if you let it go. And then now take your strap in your left hand, all in one hand here. And we want to just let our right arm just relax here. We're going to bring our right leg across the midline. Now we're not lifting our hip points up, right? We're just bringing it down. Here's midline, and your lateral movement may only be imperceptible. Like that's as far as I can go. Hip points are down, sacrum is down. So you should feel this whole line of fascia, the TFL, the IT band. Notice that. And notice if your foot is pointed somewhat, you may not feel it as deeply. So, really engaging that heel to shine towards the ceiling will really intensify that stretch. So, oftentimes, when we're taking our shape deeper, it may not be the movement of the joints, it may just be a little micro movement of a distal joint, a smaller joint. So even though we're moving from the hip, just by flexing your foot more, you'll feel that increase. And now you're always welcome to bring your hands lovingly massaging your fascia, your body, your muscles, whatever feels right. Sort of in lymph drainage, we always move towards the heart. But just feel what feels right for you. If there's an area that needs a little extra love, maybe the hammies there, go ahead and let yourself be supportive of yourself, right? Yeah, a few more breaths here. Good. And go ahead and let go. Maybe a few ankle circles on the way down, bending through the knee, just sort of relaxing, letting that foot come back down. An invitation here, yogis, to go ahead and extend out long and notice the difference. Just notice the difference in the right leg and the left leg. No judgment, but just notice. Maybe you're starting to feel some different sensations in the legs. Just feel into the difference. Now, yogi's choice to just move ankles, let your ankles sort of just rotate in and out. Just a little movement here. Yeah, good. And when you're ready, computer's making noises here. Oh, yeah, good. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and do the other side. So I'm having technical difficulties, so I'm going to go ahead and stop, but I want you to bend your right leg, use your strap to go ahead and hook around your left after you've warmed up your ankle. And remember, you can extend out through that right leg if you want as well. While I grab my much needed technical support here. So good. So when you have your strap hooked over your left ball of your foot, go ahead and find some stillness. Breathe into the biggest pocket of sensation. Notice the chitta vritti. Notice that monkey mind without judgment. Bring it back. Present moment awareness. You'll hear my computer voices here. Forgive me. Good. And when you're ready, go ahead and take the strap in your left hand, make sure your right hip is down, and then just go ahead and bring it out to the left. So feeling that inner thigh opening up, relaxing through the quad, flexing through the foot. A few breaths here. Make sure that right hip point stays down. And even though, I want to qualify this here, even though I use invitational language, during some parts of the cueing, like I just did, making sure this hip point is down is in service of safety. So sometimes these alignment cues are here to help stabilize our joints and help protect our joints and our muscles. So I will try to differentiate when the cue is more optional than more optional at times. Yeah, great. And then again, bringing this leg over. Now I'm noticing right away, and we didn't do the lifting up and lowering down. So you can do that here before we take it over if that feels good for you. And maybe inhale and then exhale, lift. So you can always just play around with different versions of breath with movement, just noticing what feels good for you. So because I didn't stretch this as long as y'all did, I'm feeling a lot more sensation